Speaking Task 1. You will be asked a question about a familiar topic. You will then have 15 seconds to prepare your response, and 45 seconds to speak.
Do you prefer to write by hand or type on a computer? Please provide 2 or 3 reasons to support your preference.
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
I prefer to type on a computer, and I have 2 big reasons why I like it more. First, typing on a computer is faster for me. I can type a lot quicker than I can write by hand, and this helps me a lot, especially when I have many things to do, like school assignments. It saves me a lot of time. Second, I like that it's easier to fix mistakes when I'm typing. When I make a mistake in writing, I have to erase it, and sometimes it makes a mess. But, on a computer, I can just backspace to delete the mistake and fix it. Also, I can easily edit or move parts of my text around. Those are the reasons why I prefer to type on a computer instead of writing by hand.
Speaking Task 2. You will read a short paragraph and then listen to a conversation between 2 people. You will have 50 seconds to read the paragraph. After, you will get a question about what you read and heard. You will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. You have 50 seconds to read. Start reading after the beep. Now listen to the conversation between 2 people.
Why are they doing this to us?
You're upset about volunteering.
Yes, I am. I was able to pass one difficult course thanks to the volunteering I did last semester. I was really hoping that this option will still be available. I was expecting it.
So you were doing it in order to help others?
I mean, I wanted to help others, of course. The fact I was able to pass a difficult course thanks to the volunteering, that motivated me a lot.
So then the students did abuse the system like the administration said.
Yeah, we were. I know it helped a lot of my classmates.
And do you think that the administration is wrong when they say that students will still come to volunteer?
No, I don't think they're wrong. Even though it will not count towards my credit hours, I will still show up. It was a really rewarding experience.
Good to know.
The man expresses his opinion about the proposal described in the announcement. What does the male student think about volunteering?
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
The male student thinks that volunteering is important and beneficial. He expresses disappointment about the change in policy, as he was able to pass a difficult course last semester thanks to his volunteer work. He had hoped that the option to count volunteering towards credit hours would still be available. The female student asks if he only volunteered to pass the course, but he clarifies that while passing the course was a motivator, he also genuinely wanted to help others. The male student acknowledges that some students did abuse the system, but he believes that many students will still continue to volunteer even though it no longer counts towards credit hours. He describes volunteering as a rewarding experience and expresses his willingness to continue helping others.
Speaking Task 3. You will read a short paragraph about an academic topic, then listen to a lecture about it. You will have 50 seconds to read the paragraph. After, you will get a question about what you read and heard. You will have 30 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. You have 50 seconds to read. Start reading after the beep. Now listen to the lecture.
I'd like to discuss the cultural significance of paleontology. Paleontology is the study of prehistoric life, and it includes many disciplines such as geology, biology, and anthropology. This field of study has played an important role in shaping our understanding of the natural world. One of paleontology's primary cultural benefits is that it helps us understand the evolution of life on Earth. Scientists can learn about extinct species and how they lived by studying fossils, providing a window into the past. Not only is this information fascinating, but it also helps us better understand our own place in the world. We can learn about species evolution and how they adapted to changing environments, which can help us protect endangered species and preserve biodiversity. Paleontology is also important in the study of human evolution. For example, the discovery of early hominid fossils has enabled scientists to reconstruct the evolutionary history of humans and their ancestors. This understanding has aided our understanding of how our species evolved over time and the factors that shaped our evolution. We can learn about our own behavior, culture, and biology by studying early humans.
According to the lecture, what are the cultural benefits of paleontology? Use points and examples from the lecture.
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
According to the lecture, paleontology has several cultural benefits. Firstly, it helps us understand the evolution of life on Earth. By studying fossils, we can learn about extinct species and how they lived in the past. For example, scientists have used fossils to reconstruct the evolutionary history of humans and their ancestors, which has enabled us to understand how our species evolved over time. Secondly, paleontology can help us better understand our own place in the world. By studying how species adapted to changing environments, we can learn valuable lessons that can help us protect endangered species and preserve biodiversity. Lastly, paleontology provides fascinating information about the past, which can contribute to our understanding of our own behavior, culture, and biology. Overall, paleontology plays a crucial role in shaping our understanding of the natural world and our own place in it.
You will listen to a lecture about an academic topic. After, you will get a question about what you heard. You will have 20 seconds to prepare your response and then 60 seconds to give it. Now listen to the lecture.
Even though it's cold and snow-covered, the Arctic houses many species of animals that manage to survive the harsh conditions there. These Arctic animals have adapted to the extremely cold temperatures primarily because of certain body features that help them to survive in the cold Arctic climate. Let's look at a few of them. For one thing, many Arctic animals have developed a protective covering on their feet. The covering usually consists of fur or feathers, which act as a protective layer between the cold and the animal's skin. Since they spend so much of their time on snowy, icy surfaces, whether they're standing on the ground or swimming in the water, they can easily lose heat through their feet. This is especially true of Arctic birds. A bird like the Arctic snowy owl, for example, has feathers on its body the way other birds do. But unlike most birds, it also has feathers all over its feet. This shields and protects the feet from the icy ground so that very little of the owl's foot actually touches snowy or icy surfaces, which helps its feet to stay warm. Another physical characteristic that some Arctic animals share is having smaller bodies and smaller, shorter body parts. In other words, their bodies are often more compact than other animals, and the parts of their bodies that stick out or protrude, like the legs, ears, or tails, are smaller and shorter. And the result is that there is less body surface exposed to the cold air. A great example is the Arctic wolf. Unlike the larger gray wolves that live in warmer climates, Arctic wolves have relatively small, compact bodies that efficiently retain heat. They also have smaller ears and shorter legs, so they lose less body heat than animals with larger bodies or longer body parts. And in a climate where the temperature is below zero most of the year, that's very important.
Using the example of the owl and the wolf, explain how two special body features have helped Arctic animals adapt to the cold.
Prepare your response after the beep. Start speaking after the beep.
Arctic animals, like the snowy owl and the Arctic wolf, have two special body features that help them survive in the cold. First, these animals have protective coverings on their feet. The owl, for instance, has feathers not only on its body but also on its feet. This protects the feet from the icy ground, keeping them warm. Second, Arctic animals have smaller bodies and shorter body parts. This compact body structure helps them retain heat more efficiently. The wolf, for example, has a smaller body and shorter legs compared to other larger wolves. This means there is less body surface exposed to the cold air, reducing heat loss. These two adaptations enable Arctic animals to stay warm and survive in the extremely cold temperatures of the Arctic.